Hello and welcome to News Blitzer. It may be true that Trump won by a larger number of electoral votes in the presidential election, but the victory margins are not large. In effect, Harris essentially lost an election she could have won. Here are the four principal reasons that led to her defeat despite all the negatives that stood against Trump. Reason number 1. Continuing Biden's campaign pitch. Besides focusing on other important issues in between, Kamala Harris and the Democrats blundered by primarily campaigning against Trump, the convicted felon and the authoritarian with fascist tendencies that threatens American democracy. Biden's nomination and dropping out halfway through the presidential campaign shoved Harris into a situation wherein she was forced to continue with Biden's strategy of making the temperamental and ideological aberrations of Trump the prime electoral issue rather than the issues that affect the everyday life of Americans. Harris had no time to change course. Importantly, the American voters already knew Trump's serious drawbacks. It was all seen on television. They did not need repeated reminders, while there is only so much that you can go on about Trump's weaknesses in a polity in which other things too matter before voters have enough of flogging Trump day in and out. Instead, a non-Trump-centric campaign was needed, which the Democrats could have provided if they had done things right from the start, beginning with one candidate running all through the race. As a result, soon the common refrain from many voters, even Democrats, was, "Is this the only issue that she has?" Over-focusing on Trump the person and his weaknesses backfired significantly, especially among white voters. Reason number 2, it's the economy, stupid. James Carville, a strategist in Bill Clinton's successful 1992 U.S. presidential election against incumbent George Bush Sr., made the statement, "It's the economy, stupid," to party workers, to ensure they focus on an issue that would win the election for Bill Clinton. Though the U.S. economy has begun improving for some months before the presidential elections, for most of 4 years under President Biden, Americans faced considerable economic problems, including unemployment and price rise, particularly rise in everyday necessities. Harris failed to present any concrete economic plan to elevate the U.S. from its poor present economic situation going forward, and unduly restrained herself from distancing herself from the economic policies of the Biden administration and charting her own economic course. All she offered were general economic promises, whereas the people wanted to know how she planned to accomplish those promises. Trump, on the other hand, exploited this issue to the hilt, and being battle-worn and a former president with an acumen for business, he did a better job of messaging and exploiting the economic situation, with the election results indicating that he succeeded at it. Reason number 3, double-speak over Gaza. Kamala Harris indulged in a major faux pas over her stance on the Gaza conflict, promising to reign in Israel while at the same time expressing support for Israel and providing it with weapons. The message that came across to voters was, which side was she really on, war or peace? According to an Associated Press exit poll after the 2020 presidential elections, 64% of Muslims voted for Biden, whereas 20.3% Muslims voted for Harris in 2024. That is a loss of about 40% Muslim votes. Most of the depleted Muslim vote for Harris went to Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate who advocates ending U.S. military support for Israel, and some to Trump, who got the backing of some Arab and Muslim community leaders in swing states. Furthermore, even the rest of the electorate was affected by Harris's double-speak on the Gaza conflict. A poll commissioned by the Center for Economic and Policy Research in March 2024 showed that 62% of respondents who voted for Biden in 2020 agreed with the statement, "The U.S. should stop weapons shipments to Israel until Israel discontinues its attacks on the people of Gaza." Another poll commissioned by the Institute for Middle Eastern Understanding Policy Project in August revealed respondents in swing states of Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Georgia saying they would be more likely to vote for the Democratic candidate if the nominee vowed to withhold weapons to Israel. Harris did not do that, and it cost her dearly. Reason number 4, overdoing the pro-abortion bit. According to the Brookings Institute, in 2023 there were just over 1 million abortions, or around 16% per 1,000 women of reproductive age in the U.S. Though this is not a good trend, the American population consists of around 168 million female voters, The small number of pro-abortion women can never singularly bring anyone to power to give them the kind of attention as Harris. On the contrary, American women also have other important and practical concerns, including domestic concerns, employment, price rise, education, and health care, concerns which Harris failed to address adequately. Instead, she over-focused on pandering to the abortionist lobby among female voters. As a result, it is now clear that a larger number of women voted for Trump who talked about their everyday problems than for Harris, who did not pay much women-specific attention to it. To top it all, Harris not only inherited the baggage and the incumbency of the Biden administration, but also had to deal with the internal problems in the Democratic Party. For instance, it was always obvious that the party should not have nominated Biden for a second term. Biden was already a write-off because of his visible age-related issues as well as performance as president. As pointed out by analysts, the party should have nominated a properly weighted candidate instead of nominating Harris halfway through the campaign after Biden was forced to drop out. Clearly, there are problems within the Democratic Party which also contributed to her defeat. Perhaps the Democrats will learn from it all, while it is yet to be seen how much Trump delivers. His first tenure as president was not remarkable, and this is also neither 2016 nor 2020. The world has moved on, nations have made new alliances, world economies have changed, global conflicts have increased. U.S. economic and military power is not what it used to be, and during his first term he also left a bad taste in the mouth of nations that matter, especially the EU and NATO constituents. How he gets out of his legal mess, which includes a criminal conviction, without abusing power, how he reinvents himself, and how much he delivers is what will decide whether those who voted for him made the right choice or not. Let us know your views in the comments box below, and if you have not already done so, do subscribe to this channel and share it. Thank you once again.